Ed, thanks very much. The gears are turning in Maryville to create a co-working space for entrepreneurs in Blount County. 10 News reporter Grant Robinson spoke to the folks behind this effort. Grant, what did they say?
Well, John, the idea behind a co-working space is to create an environment that's functional for small businesses and also creates opportunities for collaboration and growth.
There's a new kind of workplace coming to downtown Maryville. It's called co-working. A shared space where people from several different companies rent an office or even just a desk.
The purpose of that is twofold. One, it gives people an affordable place to work, a modern, sleek place to work. But secondly, it causes these creative collisions that we might not otherwise see if these people weren't together in a room working.
Lane Schuler's day job is in real estate. He's also spearheading the Sky City Initiative, an effort to create a co-working space in Maryville. Together with the Blount Partnership and a number of other collaborators, the project has officially launched. Now it just needs to find the right space.
We've done surveys and studies and seen similar communities can support this kind of a space, so we know our community can support it and our community wants it and needs it.
For economic leaders, cultivating small business is a critical part of creating a healthy business community.
You never know also which small business might become a large business. So it just contributes to diversification in industry.
On top of creating a space that helps entrepreneurs and small businesses grow, the initiative aims to keep innovators and their ideas in Blount County.
And those networking situations that happen when you have a bunch of different people together really can cause some magical things to happen.
The Sky City Initiative also created a speaker series. That's where entrepreneurs can learn from and be encouraged by Blount County innovators whose businesses are already seeing success.
Grant Robinson on the story. Thanks very much.